So the Wichita State University case that happened, right?
Yes.
What happened there?
So really, this was, June of 23. We had just heard in the news and through common friends, there's a Dr. Tom Parlekar. He's kind of like the one of main guys, right?
Hmm.
Who knows me well.
Hmm.
Because, the Indians to the Diwali celebration and the Cultural Association in India, I always donate $1,000 to them
Hmm.
every year.
Hmm.
So they stay in touch. So he had called saying that this had happened.
Hmm.
So there was a GoFundMe. So I think maybe I gave him $100. I didn't really think anything of it, that this kid passed away, sad. And that was the end of that.
No,
But
kid's name kya?
um, Manideep Kolli.
Manideep Kolli.
Manideep Kolli. So fast forward
Did you
December.
know how he passed away?
No, we knew he passed up in a swimming pool accident,
Okay.
but we didn't really know any details.
Okay.
So fast forward December of 23.
Hmm.
Then it was my old office just a block from here. Then there was cold winter day. His family of his father, mother, and I think two other people just showed up because they had heard that there was a Hyderabadi lawyer in Wichita. Somebody told him, go at least see him, what he has to say.
Hmm.
If anything can be done, explain to us our rights and what the law says.
Hmm.
So I took him, obviously I was deeply affected because you could tell he was very sad.
Hmm.
And in the intensity of his sadness, he had a video of how the death happened.
Oh, it was recorded?
Yeah, absolutely, it was on camera, so I couldn't really bear to watch it. I mean, nobody can really. It's such a terrible place. So anyway, I took down his information, I took his video, and I said I will do my best because I told him that I don't do personal injury. Personal injury is a very specialized type of law, and it really takes tons of money to really prosecute a case from start to finish. You got to have expert witnesses. You got to have the whole thing. You got to have the entire machinery of experts in every field possible to really win these cases. But Devon James, who's really a close friend of mine, sent him tons of cases. So after the family left, I called him, and then he said, "Okay, send me that." He was very interested, and he said, "Yes, this is something we'd be interested in taking this on." So then we signed him up as a client, and uh, then they hired a swimming pool expert from California, $2,000 a day plus expenses. So he came here, stayed a week. So he went into the pool, took tons of pictures, did interviews, and then he pulled out the architect drawings when the pool was built 30, 40 years ago and went through every possible way to see. Turned out that this was a diving pool. In other words, it's 4 feet at one end and 12 feet on the other end. Most of them are like flat, and then they have a little area where they can dive and won't get hurt. And it's most of them can wade waist high and be okay. But this was not like that. This was straight up 45-degree angle, and it was old style. The critical part was there was no separation of the rope separating the deep from the shallow. So Mandeep, poor kid, started walking, and then there was a ladder halfway through, and then the ladder, was obviously not clean. It had moss. It was slippery, so he tried to grab it, hit his head, got real disoriented. Already he was taken in water. He was disoriented, and then slowly drowned. Slowly drowned. The medics came, tried to revive him. All was caught on tape. And one of the things that really, really implicated the management of the company is when they called the office and some lady answered the phone and she said, "Yeah, I know all about it. There's no rope. I've been telling the owners to put a damn rope on, but nobody listens to me." And they knew this was going to happen. So she blurted out all of the bad stuff.
Okay.
So we compiled all of that. And basically in July of after the investigation, but I mean, Devon James did a very thorough job. And basically said, we want $2 million for, because they had a nice portfolio. He said this kid came from India. His earning capacity as a software engineer was this much, and he was a young man. We basically asked for future wages. And so we gave them 90 days to respond. So 88 a day, which was November of 24. November 10th or so, we get a call saying, "Will you take a $1 million?" And I said, "Let me think about it." Internally, I was jumping for joy because $1 million, because there was a policy limit. I mean, we could sue for more, but the chances of getting nothing. See, Kansas is one of those weird states. It's called comparative fault. In other words, if it's 51% my fault, zero recovery. So if it's 50-50 fault, I get 50% of recovery. So if it's their 60% of fault, then I only get 60%.
Okay.
So it's California and other states are not like that. They're not comparative fault. They're just strict fault. So Kansas is not a most friendly state for this type of cases. So the fact that they offered $1 million, we were jumping for joy. But I said, I have no authority to accept it. I need to check with his father.
Okay.
And the father, I explained to him, I purposely told him a lesser amount. Just because of expenses and things like that.
Right.
I told him, I think you're going to net about 400,000-500,000. He ended up netting over 700.
Okay.
So, but it was my personal way of managing expectations.
Right.
I mean, you can tell them a number, and never looks good if the number is lower than what you told them. But it's always good if it's a higher number than what you told them, which is what happened. So I told him a lower number. He said, "Fine, take it. I'm going to do what I need to do." So he said, we took it. So his visa had expired. His wife's visa has expired. He didn't really want to come here to get the money. We could have wired the money. But because something in me really wanted me to see him in person. Look him in the eye, because after all, he had lost his son. No amount of money can replace that, No amount of money can replace that. But the only thing we could do is preserve the kid's legacy. So it really gave me a great pleasure to be such a significant part of this. So November 27th, I went to India with a check. The nice little ceremony. The IT minister was there. We gave a check. And then he turned around. I asked him to donate some money to a charity in the old city. It was a secular charity for girls, where they teach girls. It's like an entrepreneurial charity where they make bags and
What's the name of it?
Safa Foundation.
Safa Foundation.
Yeah, so very, very secular. Because I wanted to, as you well know, my views on religion. I didn't want to give money to any kind of religious organization at all. So I wanted to give to an organization which is secular in its charter. It happens to be in a Muslim neighborhood where most of the clients are Muslim, but there are some Hindus also. So the money went to buy materials and machinery and things like that. So the clients make bags and uniforms and things like that and sell them in open market and get a nice salary. So it's a very personal charity. I hope to really spend some time working in Hyderabad too. As I was telling you, it's one of my aspirational goals in next 2-3 years is to move to Hyderabad and spend 2-3 months a year because of Dr. Kazim, the owner of Paradise Biryani. So that's one of my things that I hope to do
Will do.
is do. You know, after all, what's the purpose of life, man? You can't take it with you. Might as well give it away.
That's nice.
Might as well give it away.
Right. So, his father was visibly like so moved, man. Even
Oh, you saw that, right?
yeah. Even that,
Ace.
when he was speaking, his voice was shaking.
Well, absolutely.
I think he also donated it to.
Yes, he donated 20 lakh rupees.
Right.
So that was very nice of him.
Yeah.
Very nice of him. And that's not a small sum.
Yeah. But it's actually a good thing for all Indians to know here that because you see a lot of kids drowning. Drowning cases, you see at least 4 to 5. Statistically, I don't know. But
Yeah, but there's more than a few.
yeah, that's true.
You know, and see, most Indian kids that come, I find lately, are from rural areas of Andhra Pradesh and rural areas of other parts of India. I mean, I'm sure they're urban kids too,